Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 17, day 1. It is April 24th, 2017, Holocaust Memorial Day, in memory to all those that perished in World War II in the concentration camps and throughout Europe. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, good to see you. Happy Monday here. For all those that managed to get a piece of that gap up on the Sunday night market. Sure. Awesome move, awesome move. So, posted here, pre-market trend. We'll take a look at some of those charts here as in the technical momentum outlook for the week. Let's scroll down as the bottom line, watching for price action to do what? Regain traction above that 50 and 10 period moving average. So how did we do? Did we get above it? Let's take a look on the charts. Price action. Let's jump right over. How did we do? Yes, NQ, which we had already been in traction, but in question here, it was that daily YM regaining traction above the 50 in one big swoop move, open gap overnight on the Globex and the ES all the way up to the resistance here. So really nice move upside here, Sunday open to go down in the books. So news, information as we roll through the week. Tax reform announcement. I don't know how much detail will be there, but it was all about the French elections and not any results as it's not yet done. But the thoughts that France won't sway too much from the main course and not cede from the European Union, which would obviously affect Globex market. So I don't think we're headed down to 200 period MA anytime soon. All right, we got a lot of charts to go through, so let's get right into it. Again, the core strategy here, again, we're looking for high probability setups either direction intraday. 51.44, solid Heikin Ashi bars downside, and to remain in the trend as long as possible. Well, that exactly wasn't the situation today, so gapping up, let's take a look at a quick picture of that nice gap up here on the NQ overnight on a 10-minute MML chart. This is just a 10-minute chart. Nice move up to show the bigger picture. That was, again, all together. It didn't take long for this to move, especially on the range charts. And after that, it was really a choppy session as went to sleep. Overnight markets lifted a little bit on the MML charts. And there you go. You got your resistance up here, 55.0775. We can see our high here today about 55.12. So only a little bit higher within the resistance zone. So anything back to the downside. Again, gap rules applied this morning as posted by the Shadow Trader. Great set of rules, gap rules. If we don't go and close the gap right away or at least come down and attempt, price action will remain choppy and perhaps get a little lift at the end. Exactly what we got today. So price action holds the course. ES, same picture, nice gap up overnight. On the news from overseas, lifts up, pretty much chops across, 23.75 pre-market there as the ES only managed to get up maybe another point here. So pretty much stayed up at the highs, pulled back a little bit here today as we see a low, which obviously was the Globex low, 23, well, at least the Globex low was a little bit right around here, 23.65-ish, but we didn't manage to come down that deep today. All right, let's jump right into the MMLs here as we saw pre-market. Again, the NQ pre-market charts. Let's just quickly go back. There was 55.0775, and looking at the NQ full session here, pulling out all the stops here. That's right, 55.12. And again, you can see pretty much market open this morning. Didn't give much opportunity. Opening price, closing price, within inches of each other. So highest probability setups, what were we looking for? As we do each day, we were looking for price action where the solid Heikin Ashi bars are in sync. Again, with the 534 and the cloud in the green. So only real pockets of opportunity were here about post 28 minutes of the open, maybe about post 40 minutes of the open. And again, if you're trading the MMLs to the short, we'll go ahead and show you that here in a little bit. But price action downside gave you an opportunity off the MML highs. Once price action broke through the tops here, 55.07, could have taken the sell limit order, taken the short, but highest probability, again, re-entry after not closing the gap downside. Had a ways to go on that. There was your next best setup in the PM session after a little move down here off the MML low if you wanted to go ahead and scalp that. All right, how do we do on the ES? Again, that ES pre-market, there it is, 23.75 was the MML high. As the ES full session, again, still there it was, 23.75 upside. Really not revisiting those levels as price action open, close, not far from each other as well. 50% line, but here it was, ES opening move downside to the MML low. Those are the Murray math levels. Again, nothing really in sync back to the upside. So nice move. ES first move, solid Heikin Ashi bars in the red downside here to 23.67. Not far from the overnight low, 23.65 as we got down here. Actually, Globex lows was way downside. So 23.65 was our low here for the session. A lot of mid AM session chop here. Again, another re-opportunity. Solid Heikin Ashi bars downside. Again, another attempt. At this point, we just were in a chop session on the ES. Finally, a move down here at MLL lows and best opportunity here in the afternoon. So ES wasn't easy to hold on to that ES. Any entry there either stopped out or price action lifted up against you. If you had to stop higher, you've been okay, but pullbacks, deeper pullbacks. Again, smaller time frame might have done you a little bit better. Gone down to a 3-2 flex Renko on the slower price action. Again, the momentum clearly for the most part was to the upside going into the AM session, but here we had a slight pullback and then a resurgence upside. All right, taking a look at the YM. Again, YM full session, there it was. Similar story. It was just choppy across the board. AD lines weren't moving that much. We were already at the extreme. So at this point, the deeper pullback wasn't going to really occur unless we were going to go chase that gap downside. So you're looking for an uptrend move, and you might have just decided to sit out. And if you did on the indices, you didn't hurt yourself because there were some other great trending charts, and we'll take a look at those here in a moment. So ES, at the end of the day, MML, gaps upside. Nice move, 5-minute charts. Again, if you got price action where it's range bound, it's not moving much, use the 5-minute MML charts. If it's got a long trending day, stick to those 10-minute MMLs and you'll get that wider range, and you won't get the MMLs charts changing as much. All right, one other key note I want to go ahead and show you here on the VPOC again chart here today. Again, nice as we've seen the ES here in consolidation across the board. Where does price action go? That's right, comes back to that high of April and clearly sets some value up at the upper extremes of the VPOC. So nice chart there. All right, let's jump into the charts. Go ahead and pull out all the stops here. Take a look at what we got. Again, daily gaps, big picture, all-time high here on the NQ. 55.1275 here, weekly opening price indicated by the yellows. So we got our open gaps indicated. We've got a new high here on the NQ. That line shaded area just showing you how much distance we have to get back up to those all-time highs here at 24.01. But we leave ourselves a nice open hole behind that eventually will be closed. So keep your eyes out for that. There's our VPOCs again. We showed you the ES up here. NQ again, all-time high. So we're setting the bar higher here as price action on the Q just lifted last week and absolutely to the sky here today. AD lines, not much to talk about. We had already breached those highs. We really didn't come down much. You could see we just drifted across for ES, YM, NQ. The NYSE reaching up here to 16 upper levels, and that was pretty much it, flat across. So you're really not looking for the short, as we saw on the charts. Again, let me just go back quickly. You see the ES here, full session. You're not really wanting to play the short here. There's always a scalp entry possible, but you're looking for the opportunity to go back upside, and you don't have that much range, so you might stick to the MMLs. At this point, you're already coming down from the high. So maybe an entry from the lows upside, which only held down for so long. Tough to find a combination today. Very tough. All right, so let's go. Oh, let me just go ahead and show you that. Actually, let's jump down to a 3-2. Again, just quick change here on the time frame. Here we can see while the 5-4 might have been a little bit tougher, here you can see the 3-2 actually trended a little bit better. So without a lot of price action movement, you're always welcome to drop down to the lower time frame, as we mentioned, 10-minute versus 5-minute. Actually, instance to show you here. Let's go down to a 1-minute chart. Was playing around with this. So here you go. You got a lot of range bound. What happens if we take the MML chart on an intraday here, and we're looking for moves from both upper to lower and lower to higher? Well, if this is our trading session here, let's just open this up a little bit more, and we're saying, whoa, well, how do I get an entry off the lows and up to the highs and reversal and trend with the HA bars? It can be kind of challenging. So we go down to a 1-minute chart. Now, 1-minute chart's going to be quite noisy, but all of a sudden we see opportunity here. This is going to be in the afternoon session, but again, here you go. You're looking for the trend off the lows, MML lows, the Murray Math level lows. Your goal is to make it up here to the upside in trend with the HA bars, and gives you a great opportunity for a target or a level upside. And so just dropping to the lower time frame on the MMLs, which then would overlap to the range chart, which makes a really nice setup. And I believe we might even have an example of that. Let's go ahead, pull up an NQ chart here. We'll go ahead to the MML.
NQ short.
On the NQ, we'll drop it down to 1 minute. And now,
NQ
all of a
short.
sudden, voila. Even on the range chart. Now on the range chart. So you see how you can play with that MML, especially on a range-bound day where you don't have a lot of price action. Ignore all the L's. They need to be a little tighter into the candles. But right here, you can see price action right up to the MML high here. That was about 1 hour to go. Price action, you would have hoped that it breached a little bit above the resistance, but it didn't. And price action moseys its way down to the MML low. So again, this not representing the whole day here is a 1 minute chart. Obviously, is going to represent a lot more price action. And I apologize here. Let's go to a 10-7. I don't want to be on a 5-4. You can see here on a 1 minute chart. There we go. There. So at the end of the day, you're wondering, should I take the short? Well, you breach up here to the YM here, to the NQ MML high, and you got yourself a turnaround all the way down to the MML low. So those of you in the trading room, we've been talking about the MML levels introduced by one of our trading room members in the room. So it's been a good experience to see how to combine them all together. So where was really the best setup? Really the best setup on the NQ. So let's go back to a 10-7.
NQ short.
Let's go back to an MML on the, let's go to a 5 minute chart. And so where would have been my best opportunity all day? Well, this Jedi trader looking for the best setups would have been right here, obviously on the Globex session. When in sync, solid Heikin Ashi bars, tails up. And where are we going? The goal is from the MML low to MML high. There we go. We got an opportune setup. Regardless of that the MML candles are there or not, solid Heikin Ashi bar, tails up, and you got yourself a move to the upside. There you go. Anything counter trend? Take your contracts off sooner, see if it'll run. Remember the little pocket of movement I just showed you here on a 1 minute chart off the overbought? Well, on a 1 minute chart, all of a sudden showed you coming down from resistance all the way down to support. So you can have multiple MML charts up. That's your choice. But either way, trend is trend. HA bars downside gave you a little counter trend set up as well. All right. So pockets of trend, yes. Tough to find anything running away after that gap up? Absolutely today. All right, so let's go to the big charts here as we roll into tomorrow. As we can see, NQ MMLs have reset themselves after the Globex. We had 54.88. Now we have 54.68 as our resistance. So 60 minute, we'll wait for the reset on the Globex on the gap up. So upside on the 4 hour, still looking ahead through the week, 55.47. Obviously all the way down to 68 if we pull back some. Keep in mind the bigger picture on the chart on the daily NQ. We are still holding upside, so resistance downside will be the 10 or the 50. And as we head into the Globex overnight, 10-minute chart here. 55.07. I like to keep it to the 10-minute chart on the Globex. Still waffling around on the 10-minute versus the 5-minute for the overnight. So there you go, 55.07. Anything upside? Again, Globex let it up. Not sure we're going to follow through, but watch that 55.27 downside, 68.75, and perhaps, hey, close that open gap. Whoever knows. Taking a look at the ES as we roll into tonight's session. Price action again. Watch the resistance upside, 23.75. 23.59 downside. Open gap's going to be in play as we hold up here on the 4-hour. Don't forget, daily chart on the ES. There we go. Back upside above the 50 and the 10 EMA as we here have resistance. Watch that over back February high. All-time highs is still in play, but that's the bigger picture in mind. And as we roll into tomorrow, 10-minute ES, there she is. Price action, 23.75 upper highs. Watch the upper levels here. Any pullback at least maybe to 23.59. Again, catalyst in the news can do anything overnight. Let me go ahead and pull up that CL chart that I didn't get a chance to show you here, guys. Crude, nice move right there. MML high, sell setup right there. Short setup, solid body, tails down, everything in sync. Yep, there you go, right underneath. MML, downside underneath 534 all the way down. Sweet, sweet move. And the last chart I wanted to point out here was the 6E today. Let's go ahead and quickly pull that up. I can pull that 6E chart up. There we go. And off the MMLs, talk about off the MMLs, high to lows. Here we go, nice move. So here you go, price action again. Just showing you as many opportunities as possible. 6E, there it is, MML high to low, turn around right off the lows and back upside. So nice move from line to line. Again, if you're looking in that range bound session, I can't help but reiterate the fact that you might want to drop that MML time frame down to give you more opportunities. All right, let me see. Make sure I got everything. I got the gaps. We got the big charts in set. Yep, and we've covered everything. Big picture. Know where your MML lines are overnight. Daily gaps up ahead or down below at this point, and surely at some point we'll eventually close those out. All right, heading into tomorrow to close up this daily recap economic calendar. Again, we're looking ahead to the week to GDP. Wednesday, tax reform announcement. Not sure how much we'll be told. And then looking to Thursday, big economic earnings day. Tomorrow, new home sales Red Star event. But everything leading up to Wednesday and Thursday, in my humble opinion. So, hey, we got a chop day after a gap up. Who knows what we'll have tomorrow. All right, that concludes an insight into today's daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key future market. Make sure you check out my technical momentum outlook for a video recap, pre-market trend posted here 15 minutes prior to, and today's trading session recap, which includes some of the key numbers and news as our gap uptrend net long ends up in a chop, but remaining in the uptrend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy as posted here. Keep it simple. Any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Hey guys, you can find me every day on Twitter or here at tradingfibs.com. Twitter, StockTwits, or here on twitter.com, StockTwits, as well as tradingfibs.com. I only leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only am watching what's in front of me and on my charts every single day. And as always, I leave the bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Again, Holocaust Memorial Day. Wishing all those that perished and families your thoughts. And unfortunately, we still have those atrocities in the world. And maybe one day, we hope that they will end. Guys, have a good day. Have a good night. And good trading to you from tradingfibs.com.